Hello children. Today we will start with a very important topic, polynomials, and factorization of quadratic polynomial is a very important part of this chapter. Though you have done it in class 8, you did it in class 9th also, but somewhere we notice that student face problem in factorizing the quadratic polynomial by middle term splitting. So let's learn how to factorize quadratic polynomial by splitting the middle term. Children, whenever a polynomial is given to you, you will first of all notice the sign at this place with the constant term. If this is positive, this sign indicates that the middle term will have two factors, either both will have positive sign or both will have negative sign. Now you will concentrate upon this. If this sign is positive, that confirms that both the factors are positive. When this gets confirmed in your mind, then start factorizing. So let's start with the factorization of this polynomial, rewrite it. And if I will see the factors of 4, it will be 4 into 1. It may be 2 into 2, but 2 into 2 will not add and give you 5. So we are considering 4 into 1 here. 4 and 1, when both will be given same sign, plus sign, which is confirmed here. So when you give both of them positive sign, it will become x plus 4x. That makes it 5. So we are just changing the style of writing 5, x plus 4x, and then take these two together and take out the common part, which is x. So if I take x common, I'm left with x plus 1, and from last two terms I will take 4 common and I'm left with x plus 1. Now this is the first term and this is the second term. Both the terms are having a bracket x plus 1 common in them. So now I will take x plus 1 common, and in the next bracket I'm left with x. Since this part is taken common, so this term is left with only x, and x plus 1 is taken common, therefore this term is left with 4. So in the next bracket you will have x plus 4. I hope you understood. Let's move to the, let's see the next polynomial. In this polynomial, children, you will notice that here is the positive sign, but here the sign it has changed. It is negative now. So first of all, you will always focus upon this sign only, and this sign indicates the sign with the constant term. First of all, take care of the last sign, that is the sign with the constant term. If it is positive, it indicates either both positive or both negative. Then you want confirmation. Then you will move the sign with x, x involving term, and this is negative, and that confirms that both the parts will have negative sign with them. Both will be negative. Now let's solve the polynomial x square minus 5x plus 6. Now children, 6 can be factorized in two ways. It is 3 into 2 or it is 6 plus 1. Since both the parts will have negative signs, so if you give minus 6 and minus 1, it will become minus 7. So that means this is wrong. And if you give both the parts negative sign, minus 3 and minus 2, you will get the desired number, that is minus 5. So this confirms that this is the most suitable factors. So let's write it down. So this is x square minus 3x minus 2x plus 6. Now take these two terms together and try to find out the common part. So x is common. I have taken x common, and this is x minus 3 inside the bracket. From the rest of the two parts, again you will be taking minus 2 common, and since you are taking minus sign common, so this term will be positive now and this term will be negative now. Since we take, whenever we take negative sign common, the signs of the term will get reversed. So this term was negative, so it will become positive, and this term was positive, so it will become negative. And then children, this will become the first term and this will become the second term. Both the term has one bracket x minus 3 common in them. So let's take this bracket common, x minus 3. The first term is left with x and the second term is left with minus 2. So this confirms the factorization of given polynomial by middle term splitting. So in these two cases, you have learned how to factorize the quadratic polynomial when we have plus sign with the constant term. Let's consider the cases when we have negative sign in the last term. The constant term is negative. If the constant term is negative, that makes you sure that one part will be positive and one part of the middle term will be negative. Now you will look at this sign, the sign with x involving term. If it is positive, that confirms that the larger part will be positive and the smaller part will be negative. So let's start with the factorization. X square plus 4x minus 5. Now factorize this 5. So factors of 5 are 1 into 5. If I give, that means we have to give positive sign to one and negative sign to other, and as it is confirmed above that the larger part will be positive and the smaller part will be negative, so I'll be changing the style of writing 4. 5 minus x. 5 minus x is 4, so that means this is x square plus 5x minus x and minus 5. Take these two terms together. This is x common, and inside x plus 5 take minus common. Since you are taking minus common, therefore change the sign. So this is x plus 5, and then children, x plus 5 bracket is there with both the terms. So let's take x plus 5 bracket common, and inside we are left with x minus 1. You may write, since multiplication, in multiplication a into b is equal to b into a, so we may write this factor later or this factor before. So no problem if we will write x plus 5 then x minus 1. Last case, case 4. Again, now we have negative sign here, but negative sign is here also. So first of all, we always concentrate upon the last sign. This sign is negative. This indicates that one part will be positive and the other part will be negative. Now what will you do? You will concentrate on this one. This will confirm you that the larger part is negative and the smaller part is positive. Once again, the factors of 6 are 1 into 6 and 2 into 3. So this time you have to give larger part negative sign. So if you give minus sign here and plus sign to 1, minus 6 plus 1 will give you minus 5. So that means this is correct. But if you give larger part minus and smaller part plus, so you will get minus 3 plus 2, which will give you 1. But you want minus 5. So that means this one is wrong. So let's rewrite minus 5 in this way. So this is x square. The larger part will be given negative sign. The smaller part will be given positive sign. Minus 6. And then these two terms, we are able to take x common. Inside we are left with x minus 6. From here we will take plus 1 common. Inside we are left with x minus 6. It should be x minus 6. And then x minus 6 bracket is there with both. So children, we will take x minus 6 common. And with this term, we are left with x. This term, we are left with 1. So the other bracket, other linear factor of this polynomial is x minus 1. I hope now you will not face any problem in factorizing the quadratic polynomial.